Ava has a cleft palate, which is basically a hole in her mouth that keeps the nasal passageway open all the way down to the mouth. That means that she cannot create suction. There's nothing to separate that space, which means she can't do the sucking motion. What she can do is a chewing thing. And so that's why the bottle works, is because she can move her mouth up and down like that, but she cannot create the suction. So that is why we need a specialty bottle. Hi everybody, we are in my kitchen. Ava is napping, and I wanted to talk to you a little bit about the specialty bottles that Ava uses. So she uses Dr. Brown's specialty bottles, which are specifically made for babies with cleft palates. So there's actually 2 generations of them. There is one generation that has a blue insert and a white rubber top. And then there's one generation of bottle that has a green insert with a green top. So they're not really much difference between the 2 other than color. The top is actually built a little different. I don't know if you can see. Sorry, it's trying to focus on my face. So this just kind of sits on the inside of the bottle. And then this one has like ridges that's supposed to go like right inside. And so what you have to do is you have to put these 2 together, and this helps with the flow, right? And then put this in the bottle, and then you have the top of the bottle. And then this is the part for Ava, which is important, which is the one-way valve that you just put into the nipple, and that goes into the bottle. And then once you have this in the bottle, you screw this on top. And it's the exact same thing with the second generation, is you have to put the big plastic piece on the insert, then put the valve in the nipple, and then put that in the top. Okay, so the other interesting thing about these bottles is because of their one-way valve on the top, you actually have to do what we call priming it, where you squeeze the nipple and then tip it upside down so that it fills. And then, hold on, let me grab a towel. So it's actually a pretty genius design. If you notice how the formula stays in the nipple because of the one-way valve, and all Ava has to do then is do her chomping motion, and it comes out the top just perfectly. This has been a lifesaver, and we're really happy to use them. Things that we have learned about these bottles is, first of all, they leak. Not all the time, and so we've been kind of doing some trial and error guessing on why we think they're leaking. We definitely think if there's temperature differences, like if we put the whole bottle together and put it in the fridge and then heat it up, there's more leakage. Also, if you accidentally put the second generation, so the green stuff, on the bottle that came with the blue one, I think sometimes that makes more leakage. And then the other thing we realized is that when we were sterilizing, because we have a big sterilization thing, obviously to keep them clean for the bottles, is that these can get kind of warped, and that's going to lead to more leakage. Now, I had a friend who said she actually emailed Dr. Brown's about the leakage, and they said that, well, it's probably because you need to increase what level nipple it is from 2 to 3, which I don't know if that fixes the problem for other people, but for us it didn't really, because it wasn't leaking all of the time. We did try going up nipple size, which helped as far as how fast Ava was eating, but didn't really fix the leakage. So I don't know what that means. So we have a whole system, organizational system, I guess you would say, to make life easier for us that I will share. And I don't, obviously, I don't know if this is helpful for anybody else, because I think it's your own system that makes it easier. So I will turn the camera around and show you a couple things. So first of all, we have this whole station set up. So we track all of Ava's feeds because as she's still trying to put on weight, it's been important for us to be able to communicate that with all her doctors. And so we always track her weight, or not her weight, her feeds. And then just to keep things safe, we always mark when we open the bottle. She goes through these Similacs maybe every other day, actually, because her food is so fortified. And then just to make sure that we use the oldest formula first, we actually put numbers on the outside with masking tape. And then that's the one we made the longest to go. You know, I don't know how important it is because it's formula instead of breast milk, but it was a pattern we got into a while ago and it's been actually really helpful. So Ava's food is very, very fortified because we're trying to put weight on her. So instead of like a normal formula for, or a recipe for formula, so you do like say a certain amount of water in 1 scoop, Ava's essentially twice that, so I would do 2 scoops instead. And then to get her fortified even more, we actually have to add a little bit of the DuoCal on top. We did try a couple times to fortify her formula all the way up to 26 cal, which is just to make it really, really dense, so more powder to less water. But her little system would panic, kind of. Like she would be a lot fussier, not want to eat as much. Her tummy would be upset. So it was kind of trial and error. So they kept giving us recipes for 26 cal. We found that with just the formula, toning it down, 24 cal was best for her. And then they still wanted to see if we can increase it. And so that's when they added the DuoCal on top, because the DuoCal is a little milder and not as rich as formula is. But even with the DuoCal, that jump from 24 to 26, Ava's system didn't like it. So we actually, like, just because we were documenting everything and tracking everything, tried like different recipes to kind of increment her up until we found out what was kind of her max limit, and that's how we got to the 25 cal, because we know that she needs to put on weight, and so anything we can do to get more calories and still have a happy baby is what we've been aiming for. Because of that specialty cocktail, we are making a lot of formula, and it's actually kind of hard to mix it. And given how much she's eating without having to shake and mix every single individual bottle that she's doing. So this has already been mixed and has already had some of it put into a different bottle to top it off. But we actually put like a recipe on here for how much she needs. And so we filled it up to that line with water, and then we add all the scoops of formula that she needs and the DuoCal, and then we mix it and portion it out bottle to bottle. At this point, she's eating enough where this only maybe makes like a bottle and a half, but it still saves just a little bit of time, so we've continued to do it. Another thing that I will show you that we have done, let's see, is I actually went and bought, I think these are actually intended for people who make jewelry. There are these little plastic bags here. They're about this size. We did the math and then wrote the formula, or sorry, recipe for a single bottle for Ava. So like this has 2 1/4 scoops formula plus 3 1/8 teaspoons of DuoCal and to a certain amount of water. And we keep these in the diaper bag so that if we are ever in an emergency and we run out of bottles, or say we forgot an extra bottle and we're going to be out longer than we thought, as long as we have 1 empty bottle in the insides and then 1 packet and then some water, we are always good to go. And this has been actually especially helpful for when we are traveling and we don't know how long we're going to be out. So I highly recommend doing that. They were really cheap, those little jewelry bags, and we got a bunch for the price. So that I just found on Amazon. We also, I don't know if it matters to anybody else, we do put gas relief drops in the formula because it's so fortified, checked with our doctor that it's okay to kind of put a little bit in each bottle, and that I think helps Ava's system also. So obviously when we are out and about, you need to be able to bring formula and food for the baby with you. Now, for us, all of the bottles have a lot of parts, obviously, and like I said, with the leakage, if the temperature difference changes a lot, I think it leaks more. So what we end up doing is just we have like the flat tops for her bottles. We'll put with an ice pack the bottle in with this, and then we'll just take sandwich size baggies here. We'll put the cover, the base, the nipple, the valve, the insert, and the plastic piece all in a sandwich bag, and then make packets like this to travel with. So we do this, the ice pack, the bottle, a burp cloth, and that helps us actually put things together really quickly, make sure that it's easier to get in and out of the house. So yeah, that is that, I think, as far as formula. If you guys have any tips about the Dr. Brown's bottles and how to not make them leak, let me know. I would greatly appreciate that. Oh, the other thing I think I was going to show you, and I think I took some B-roll of this already, but just in case I didn't, we have like an organized little station here. So we always keep the food here. We put all the bottle parts in just different containers in here. I am, like I said, very type A and like to be really organized, so we put these in here. These are for the smaller bottles when she was eating less. Thankfully she's eating more, but this has still been the best storage place for it. All the inserts, this is just, if I didn't have these type of tops, we could put this into the bottle here, and that should keep it from leaking as well. And keep all of those over here with the valves. We have extra valves, which is nice. Right now we have a combination of size 2 and 3 of the nipples in there, which is helpful. Our old number 1's in here, and then I actually snuck, because these got a little warped in our sanitation thing, I just keep them up here so that we don't grab the leaky ones. And then lids, and then a couple sandwich bags for when we're on the go. And then this is just miscellaneous stuff related to both bottles and then also pumping. I just want to show you our cleaning station really fast. I don't know if this will be helpful for anybody, but it's been something that's worked well for us, so I thought I'd pass it along in case it helps. All right, over here we have a soapy water bin that is just ongoing for us. We try to keep all the bottle parts in here because there are some small pieces, especially like the little valve here that has gone through the disposal before, and we want to keep as many of those as we can. The brushes here, so we clean, rinse, and then I often just put it right into the sanitation thing here, which has been really helpful just to save time. If I've got pieces that won't quite fit, I'll let them sit here until the next load, and that will work. I also put, remember how I said those plastic pieces get warped in the sanitation? Those sit out in that green drying area. And then this just goes in with 7 ounces of water, 4 minutes in the microwave, and then sits for 2 minutes. And then we're ready to make all the bottles.